What's up, fight fans? Mainman, Mademan here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. What up to the fam? What up to everyone in Mainman, Mademan's boxing form? Hey, look, man. So the thing is this. Word on the curb, according to boxing reporter Michael Benson. He is now reporting that Terence Crawford has now been made the WBC welterweight champion in recess. Says that Crawford is set to face Israil Madrimov for his WBA super welterweight world title on August the 3rd. And now also the WBC final eliminator to determine the mandatory challenger for Sebastian Fundora versus Errol Spence Jr. So, man, didn't see this one coming, fight fans. Look like the WBC want to be down. You know what I mean? First off, to deal with the first part of this news, Terence Crawford now vacates his WBC, or should I say been made champion in recess at 147. So that means the WBC belt at 147 is now free. I believe that the interim champion down there is Mario Barrios. We'll see how it all kind of goes. If they make Mario Barrios fight for that vacant strap, more than likely that's what they will do. And we'll keep our eyes on that situation right there. That's good for Barrios. The division can move a little bit more now that Terence Crawford is not holding on to one of the belts. He also still holds the WBA super belt. Also the he had the WBA super belt. He also holds the WBO belt at 147 as well. So we still going to have to wait and see what happens with those two belts. Now, in the second part of this news, Terence Crawford is now going to be, basically this fight between him and Madrimov is going to be made a WBC final eliminator. Wow. That's good for Terence Crawford, man. You know, the thing is, though, is that this is a little strange, I will admit. We do know if Terence Crawford defeats Madrimov, he'll gain 2 world titles in that fight, which is the WBO and the WBA. But if he gains those 2 titles, how is he going to be in the rankings for the WBC to be considered a mandatory? That's something that normally doesn't go that way. Whenever a champion gets named, he cannot be ranked in no other sanctioning bodies. So we're going to see how that all works out. That's a new thing for me, fight fans. Boxing has been twisting and turning in many different directions lately, so I don't know. But clearly this shows that the WBC, once again, want to be down. Terence Crawford is a very, very hot name right now. I believe that once Terence Crawford defeats Israil Madrimov, he will be the #1 fighter at 154 pounds, as well as the big A side at 154 pounds. Terence Crawford will be backed by the bag, the biggest bag in boxing. Terence Crawford will be backed by the biggest bag in boxing, fight fans. Say that fast 3 times. Not to mention he'll have 2 world titles, #1 pound for pound. Legacy, you know, anyone that fights him is going to be a huge fight. He will become the de facto A side at 154 pounds. That means basically that Charlo, B side. Spence, B side. Virgil, B side. Zoo, B side. And miss me with all of that. Oh, they sold this many pay-per-views. At the end of the day, all of their careers go to another level and takes off if they can defeat a Terence Crawford. He is the prize currently at this moment, fight fans. That's just the way it goes. If anybody got a problem with that, I got one word for you. Beat him. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. But yeah, man, so we're going to see how this all works out. But the WBC clearly want to be down with Terence Crawford, and I totally understand. His name is hot. He's backed by the bag in Turkey Al-Sheikh. He's possibly going to maybe look to do a Canelo fight in the future. Turkey Al-Sheikh is well on record telling everyone that he's looking to do Canelo and Crawford by the end of this year or sometime early next year. So if that's what he wants to do, you know, clearly the WBC want to be down. And I also find it very strange, fight fans, that if you Google Terence Crawford's name and you look up some of the images, there's a lot of images between him and Canelo Alvarez. And also I noticed that with the recent update with the new boxing game, Undisputed, that's going to be coming to consoles now, which I can't wait. But I also noticed that in their trailer, they're using Canelo and Terence Crawford's image, fight fans. And then we see the WBC, who you know they want to be in the business with Canelo, and as well as Terence Crawford. I mean, I don't know, man. Writings on the wall is starting to point towards a Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford fight. I hope y'all keeping y'all eyes open, fight fans. And if that happens, well, nothing at 154 matters. And I can understand if Canelo wants to take that fight, because think about it. Who's been more accomplished than Bud Crawford? And if Canelo Alvarez fought a 154 pounder in Charlo, what stops him from fighting a 154 pounder in Crawford, who's also perceived to be the #1 pound for pound fighter in the sport? So we'll see, man. But this is good stuff, man. Another option, another role for Terence Crawford, you know, the WBC Mando, which means that he would basically be in place to gain the winner of Spence versus Fundora. That's just another option at this point. Of course, the winner versus Virgil Ortiz and Tim Tszyu, which is going to be on the undercard of Terence Crawford's fight. That's another option as well. If Terence Crawford maybe want to pivot to try to go after the IBF, that may be an option. At the end of the day, it's Terence Crawford's world, and all of the fighters at 154 is just fighting in it. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. Terence Crawford is the A side of the class, and he has options galore, and he is backed by the biggest bag in boxing. Man, that's a whole bunch from a little kid from Omaha. Ain't that right, fans? Thumbs up on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Share, rock the bells. We get up real soon and chop it up, man. To the next video. Peace out.